Carysmart here at Portland SAAB. I'm going to do a walk around on the new SAAB 9.5. I've been with SAAB since 1999 and we're really excited to have this new model. I was around when the first 9.5 came out and now here for the second generation. We're really excited about it. Glad we had a chance to chat about the car inside, and here we have it, the 2010 SAAB 9.5.
Wow.
I'm going to start at the front of the car and kind of work my way around and talk about some of the features that we had discussed inside that I know you were looking for. Some features that your 9.5 doesn't have, and some features which have been expanded upon that your 9.5 has but have been enhanced in this model. What they've done, if you look at the front, your car has regular halogen headlights. They use the xenon cornering headlights in this vehicle, which actually turn 15 degrees as you're turning on an entry ramp or a country back road. As you're turning the wheel, the headlights will pivot ever so slightly, greatly enhancing safety because you'll be able to see what's coming around the corner, which is just it's a nice feature to have, and it's standard on this car. Also, if you look up where the rear view mirror is, you'll see a couple spots within that black canvas. And one of them is a camera, and the other is an infrared sensor. The infrared sensor is for the rain sensor for the wipers. So you simply move the wiper stalk to the first position, which is automatic, and it will go from intermittent to low speed to high speed and back to off, depending on how much moisture is there. We talked a little bit inside about the lane departure feature, and that's if you're groggy or not paying attention and you're driving down the road, the car will actually alert you if you start to depart your lane. And it's a very subtle warning. It's not something that's going to alarm you, but it just gives you warning that you're might be drifting out of your lane a bit. And of course, park assist, you had mentioned that's a handy feature to have. This car does have it. Those are the little dimples down in the front bumper, and those will help you when you're parallel parking, just let you know how close you're getting to an approaching vehicle and whatnot. You can see the front of the car is much more aggressively styled than the 9.5. The front end is rather large, and you would think that it might inhibit the way that it flows through the wind, but actually this car has the best aerodynamics of any SAAB ever produced, which contributes to phenomenal fuel economy. This is a 300 horsepower all-wheel drive vehicle that gets 27 miles per gallon on the highway.
Wow.
Yep. And it's very responsive.
I'm curious about the all-wheel drive. It's the SAAB XWD?
Yes.
What is that? I don't understand.
It is, XWD is what SAAB calls their version of all-wheel drive. It's the latest Haldex system. Haldex is widely used in the industry, and this is the very latest system. It automatically shifts the torque from front to rear as well as left to right, and it all happens seamlessly. You don't really notice it in everyday driving, but it's working even when the roads aren't slippery. If you go into a corner aggressively, or if you're driving on wet roads, the car is going to be very responsive, and it's constantly shifting the torque around so you have the best control possible.
Well, that's good, because I do a lot of driving in the Maine winter, and I'm very active outside, so I'll be driving in the middle of a blizzard sometimes.
You'll notice around the car, you'll see some almost blue-colored strips on the front, on the mirrors, and then along the back when we move there. That's all LED lighting.
What's the benefit of that?
It's very subtle but distinctive. It kind of sets the car apart at night. Nothing else will look like it on the road. Some manufacturers have different signature LED lighting, and SAAB's is very unique, especially on the back of the vehicle where you'll I'll point out, nothing looks like it at night on the road. It's really quite attractive. I know you said you carry a lot of cargo and whatnot.
I do.
And it would appear that the trunk might be kind of small because this deck lid is so short. Again, that's part of the sweeping aerodynamics. You notice the car doesn't have a spoiler because it doesn't need it. It's already so aerodynamic. Then, when you lift the trunk lid, it's massive in there.
Wow, that is big. And does it have the ski pass-through that the SAABs usually have?
It does.
Okay.
It has a ski pass-through plus a 60/40 split folding seat. And then SAAB's also designed in some neat cubbies on the side here for lungs that you might want to keep hidden, or umbrellas, or whatnot. As I shunt the trunk lid here, again you'll see that familiar blue strip. And when you're driving at night, the lower red lights do not illuminate, except when you have your turn signals going or apply the brakes. Normally it'll just be this strip of red light that'll have a soft glow to it, and it looks really quite nice when you're on the road. If you step back a little further, you'll see that they integrated the exhaust pipes right into the bumper of the vehicle.
Wow, those exhaust pipes are huge.
They are. It helps the engine breathe better. It helps for styling, but most importantly, it helps with aerodynamic drag. Again, everything is very flush under the vehicle and flush around the vehicle. You can see that there's no unnecessary protrusions, and that's what makes the car really, really quiet when you're driving, as well as the nice fuel economy that we talked about. And speaking about the back seat area, you can see it's a totally different world than your current 9.5.
Yeah.
There's an incredible amount of legroom, and this front seat is not all the way forward by any means. It's adjusted for an average driver.
Now, I have a lot of tall family members. How's the headroom and legroom?
It's fantastic.
For people? Okay.
It's fantastic. The legroom, the front seat goes back so far that even I can't reach the pedals, and I'm 6'4". Wow. So I pull it forward an inch or two, and that's where it's adjusted now. So you can see there's still a tremendous amount of room in the vehicle.
So, Carrie, there's no ignition. What's up with that?
Well, it's kind of neat. You have a transponder, which allows you to lock and unlock the vehicle, of course. And as long as you have this with you in your pocket or your purse, you can start the car. SAAB's put a handy little slot there, so you can just place it there and simply step on the brake pedal and tap the start button right where the key would be in your 9.5.
Ooh, wow.
And the car is running. And then you can flip this forward. This is also where your cup holders would go. We'll keep that forward. Here we have selectable modes for the suspension. I remember you said you like a sporty feel. You can actually just rotate this knob to S for sport. It'll tell you on the dash that you're in the sport mode, and it's changed the way that the car will behave, not only with the suspension, but with the transmission shift points and whatnot, which is really a nice feature. What's that thing? Oh, there we go. It's done. Your park assist button is here. If you don't feel like having a sport mode all the time, you can put it on intelligent or comfort setting. And comfort setting will be a softest ride. Intelligent will adapt between sport and comfort as needed. And if you want sport, you can certainly just leave it in sport mode all the time. This has one of the best navigation systems I've ever seen. The telematics are really simple to use with the car. Very easy to pair your cell phone with the system. And to turn it on, simply give the volume button a press. Here's your navigation. And you can alternate between radio and navigation. Very easy to set your destination as well. It's all touch screen, so you can use your touch screen. It also has voice activation, so you can press the button, wait for the voice prompt, and it will guide you to your destination in that manner as well, which is very helpful when you're on the road, and you really shouldn't be playing with the navigation system. You should have your eyes focused on the road.
That's what I struggle with the current navigation system I have. I feel like I'm spending so much time paying attention to it that it feels like it's dangerous to drive.
They've definitely modernized that significantly. Excuse me. Heating and ventilation system is phenomenal on this car. It has a greater output than what you're used to. Plus it has activated charcoal filter, dust and pollen filter. It really keeps the interior of the car the air very pure. I'm going to back out of the navigation screen here and go to the radio screen. We have AM, FM, and XM. Very easy to set your presets, and again, you can use the voice recognition to go to a station. You would simply press this and say select 44 XM, and it will go to that radio station for you.
Can I try that?
Sure.
Okay, how do I do it?
Give the button a press and say,
please start speaking after the beep.
Radio select 45 XM.
Radio select 45 XM.
And what it's taken it to the appropriate station.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a really fun feature. And again, you don't have to worry about fiddling with the radio. You can just keep your eyes on the road. I'll shut the radio off for now and cover some of the other features that are on the steering wheel. You have the audio controls, voice activation. You can control radio features, you can control navigation features, all the things that would normally take some time with your hands. You can keep both hands on the wheel. Cruise control, of course, is right where you expect it to be on the steering wheel. And on the back of the steering wheel, you'll see the little paddle shifters. I know you said you prefer sometimes to have a stick shift. Well, this gives the best of both worlds. You have automatic with the capability of having the stick shift. I know you have something similar on your car now, but you'll find that this is much more responsive.
Okay.
The shifts are much quicker, and it'll feel much more sporty, and you'll be more engaged in the driving experience than you would be on the previous generations.
So this car is a completely different car from the ground up.
It is. It is. The technology that's gone into this car, really, SAAB took years in refining it. They didn't want to rush it to public. They really did their homework and came out with a great product. Another neat feature is in the center of the instrument cluster here. If you rotate the ring on the turn signal stalk here,
Oh, okay.
you'll have different information. It actually will, using the GPS on the car, it will tell you what speed limit you're in based on where you are driving. Future generations of this car will have a camera that will actually read what the speed limit sign is, but the GPS system works beautifully as well. Give it another click and it will go through different trip computer features, navigation, it'll give you your prompts there, distance, keep on clicking there, average speed, fuel economy, fuel range, trip meter, and the last one is kind of neat. It harks back to SAAB's aircraft heritage. It looks almost like an altimeter. It's your speed indicator. In addition to the gauge, this will rotate forward as you increase in your speed. Of course, OnStar is standard. You have your HomeLink garage door openers built in here. The temperature sensors for driver and passenger up here for the dual zone climate control. And were there any other questions that you had about the interior of the car?
My only concern with SAAB, I've been a loyal SAAB customer, I've owned a couple of them already,
Right.
and I'd like to stay with the brand, and yet I'm a little nervous about what's been happening with SAAB. I'm wondering if you can let me know what the future looks like for the car company.
Spiker bought SAAB back in the beginning of the year from General Motors. Your concerns are warranted. Back in late last year, we didn't know what SAAB's future was going to be. Thankfully, they reached an agreement between Spiker, the Swedish government, and General Motors, where Spiker was able to take over the SAAB brand, and the future is looking super bright. Just last week, SAAB announced a partnership with BMW for all their future motors for the new SAAB 9.3, which we'll have in 2012. I think they're on super solid ground now. Everyone's really excited about the brand. This car is getting overwhelming positive response from the press and from the automobile enthusiast magazines. I think the future looks bright for SAAB, and everyone's really excited about it. And speaking of you mentioned owner loyalty. SAAB has always been known for a high degree of owner loyalty, and they're rewarding their owners with owner loyalty certificates. You actually will realize significant savings on one of the new 9.5s because of your timing. You're one of the first people to come and check out the vehicle.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate it.
I'd love to be one of the first people to be driving this car.
Well,
I bet you'd probably turn a lot of heads.
Yeah, it's a wonderful car. Let's go inside and see what we can do to make it happen for you.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for your time and all of your information you've given me today.
Well, it can be a little overwhelming, and I'm here after the sale as well to go over the car and respond to questions that you might have, and that's what we're here for.
Okay, thanks a lot, Carrie.
Yeah, thank you.